Using timeless wisdom to supersize your business. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. I wasn't either, but I've learned that everything that we need to know to scale and grow our business is a solved problem. Someone else has already done it, maybe not in your specific niche and industry, but if somebody else has done it before, that is proof that you can do it too. That would be an example of ancient wisdom. Things that are true, whether we individually believe them or not, are ancient wisdom. So today, let's talk about this. What the heck is ancient wisdom? Where does it come from? I don't know where it comes from. It's just like religion and beliefs and things. Where do they actually originate and come from? We could trace them all back. Nowadays with the internet and with AI, we could probably find those answers. But does it really matter? Do you recognize true wisdom when you see it, when you hear it, when you sense it, when you personally experience it? That's all we're looking for today. So man and women and people and humans have searched for meaning since the beginning of time, right? I'm sure Adam and Eve were having a chat in the Garden of Eden discussing, before she ate the apple, of course, discussing what was the meaning of life, who were they, why did they exist? And I'm sure God told them. I don't know, I wasn't there. None of us were. So today, let's dig deep into this and think about it. Our spiritual or philosophic wisdom, it doesn't really change. I mean, it doesn't really change over time. Everything that we're learning today is something that someone has learned from someone else previously, or they've done a scientific experiment and discovered how something actually works, not how we used to think it works. I keep thinking of the flat earth today. How many people 100% believed for centuries that the earth was totally flat? And if that you went too far, you're going to fall right off the edge. I don't know where you're going to fall off the edge to into oblivion, apparently. Wisdom comes with time, experience, age, etc. Hopefully, doesn't work that way for everybody. How many of us know some people that are older that are not necessarily wiser than they were when they were 6? I think we all know some people like that. So today, let's explore and think about things like ancient texts. What can we learn from ancient texts that can help us with leadership? How many ancient rulers have there been books or documentaries written about in order to capture the lessons learned from their experiences and move forward without having to make the same mistakes they made? My favorite documentaries, my favorite books are the ones that share the journey and both sides of the story, not just the what worked out perfectly for them. It's my favorite business owners are people that will share, hey, this is really all I went through to get the success that everybody sees and gives me accolades for right now. Because guess what? Almost all of us go through the exact same transformation and the exact same steps. And I'm going to contend all of us do. We just experience them differently and we go through them differently based on the things that we're exposed to, based on the amount of risk we're willing to take, based on how much action we're willing to take in order to achieve the things that we say that we want. So I think this is a great topic, topics that I don't really pay much attention to, but I'm going to more so now. Lucky for me, my parents were both avid readers. They read all the time. They were always learning and growing and facilitating things like Andrew Carnegie seminars and things. They were very active in the community. And so they set a great example for my sisters and I. In terms of looking for and finding wisdom all around us. If you were raised a certain religion, at some point you grow up and you get to decide, am I going to keep practicing that? Do I believe that? Or am I going to choose something different? I was raised Catholic and I was, all in on Catholicism until I had a sudden cardiac arrest, a literal death event. And that changed my thinking about everything. And religion, organized religion was a part of that. We don't need to follow one religion or one set of beliefs in order to learn about others. I think my youngest sister always tells me that her favorite courses in college were the religious courses that studied all different types of belief and religions. Of course, she's a psych major, so she's a lot wiser than I am. Things like Stoicism. I don't go back super far. I haven't to this point. Besides the Bible, right? The Bible, the Quran, any sacred text or scrolls. One of my connections here on the school platform, and you might not be seeing me on the school platform, he has studied the Christ letters, which I think is fascinating. So reading ancient texts, reading sacred texts, reading about the philosophers, Plato, Aristotle, Socrates. How much of that have you read? Okay, I haven't read very much, unless it was in, one of my courses in high school or college, which was a long, long time ago now, probably longer than most of you are alive. So how can we learn from those that came before us to be a better version of ourselves, to have our company be a better version of what's been created in the past? How can we make the world a better place, leave a legacy, create the income, the freedom, the opportunities, the growth that we want for ourselves and our business in a way that has already been a solved problem? I'm in a coaching program right now, and they talk a lot about this is a solved problem. Don't make a problem before you need to solve it. Because a lot of the questions, we have calls a couple times a week, and a lot of the questions are the same thing. And it's been fun to be on them because you start to see the patterns. You see the patterns that everybody goes through. And then you look in the mirror and you say, okay, here's where I'm stuck in my own pattern. And then we can change and grow and create what it is that we want. So today, I challenge you to find some sort of ancient wisdom with AI or just even the regular old internet. You can find whatever you're interested in. Maybe you could say, combine a couple of things and say, Stoicism, philosophy, and impact on leadership. I don't know, I'm just making that up off the top of my head. And it'll just give you a couple of pages and you can read it. The cool thing about AI is we can access resources in a incredibly fast way that we could never access before. And so use it as the tool that it is to help you get the information you need. Again, always with AI, caution, use your humanness and read for accuracy, because just because it says it doesn't mean it's true, right? It's just the combined effort of all the different AIs and all the searches and things. All right, so what we're going to do today, we're going to read something for 15 minutes. I challenge you to look into it for 15 minutes and then disclose how long you actually did it. Because I find when I go on a journey like this with Curious Mind, I end up spending a couple of hours. And right now, today, I got a super busy day, so I will not do it because I don't have a couple of extra hours to do that. I might save it till the end of the day, actually, so that I don't get distracted from my today goals, meetings, etc. So today, share in the comments below the one ancient text or ancient philosophy or ancient anything, and you get to define ancient for yourself. To me, I think Napoleon Hill was ancient. You guys are probably like, who? So pick somebody. I'm not going to use Napoleon Hill because I actually used to teach his 13 principles. So that would be cheating, and I don't need to cheat. I'm curious. I want to learn too. If I can help you in any way, hit me up and ask. Otherwise, make it an awesome day, and I will, of course, be with you tomorrow a little bit wiser than I am right now.